6 months. Did you? What is today like? I guess here at the PD.
Well, we can't believe it's been 6 months. I think everybody is obviously looking at it, thinking that we should have, had this resolved a lot earlier, and we feel the same way. However, we can't control time, and things that have happened, and we're still actively searching for them. We still have an active investigation going on. It certainly seems like it was only yesterday this all began. It's been a whirlwind, but we've done everything we could possibly do at this point, and right now the investigation is moving forward in a very positive direction. Unfortunately, I can't share those details, but I think we're heading towards a conclusion. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sort of a different tone than you had, I guess, a couple months ago when I was here. I know you probably can't elaborate, but can you elaborate?
That I can't. What I can say is, we're still hopeful that we will find them. When that happens, I don't know. I still don't know that. However, I guess we kind of switch focus at this point from looking for them and hope we find them that way to the investigative element, which has been going on since the beginning. And so that now that's the primary focus at this point. We certainly still do searches. We're still hopeful that we're going to find him, and we're searching in areas that we believe he could be, which is why we're searching there. But the investigation is really the key right now. So
yeah, I guess where do things stand? And I guess what does that entail when you say more investigative than searching?
The investigative is looking at all the evidence we've collected so far, all the interviews, all the video footage, all that stuff, and putting it together and making a case as far as what happened to Elijah and bringing some justice to the situation.
Do you think he's still alive?
I don't know that, but statistically, we're on 6 months. It'd be foolish for us to say he's certainly alive statistically. That's probably not the case, but we're obviously hopeful. Could he be alive? Certainly, but we have to be realistic about it as well. At this point, we are still looking for Elijah. We are, like I said, confident we'll bring justice to the situation.
I know you had I don't know if it was last time I was here, before that,
Sure.
They were kind of, I think it might have been the chief that told me that you're sort of focusing on this 20-mile radius. Is that still the focus?
Yeah, it has been. I know one of the questions that came up a while back was, why are they searching in the Dells or some other places? And we've always said before, we'll follow up on every tip and lead we get, and we still do. If they're out of state, we follow up on those tips and leads. For instance, there's been tips and leads that have come in, well, he's been found in this place or that place, and we've certainly followed up on those. That hasn't been the case. And I guess we want to remind everybody too, if he is found, you will hear first from us. It's not going to be from an agency somewhere else. It's not going to be from a Facebook page somewhere else. It's going to be information directly coming from us.
Yeah, I guess I know you put out the statement today. I'm assuming you put it out because today marks 6 months. I mean,
correct.
Just to kind of keep it out there.
Certainly, yeah. We definitely want to keep it in the public spotlight because it is still ongoing. There's nothing about this investigation that's been shut down. It's not a cold case. We are actively still investigating. It might not appear to the public because we don't have the huge searches going on anymore. We don't have hundreds of volunteers coming in to do searches. It's very much more directed and focused at this point, and it's really focused on the investigative portion, which is out of the public eye more or less. So even though the public sees officers calls for service at special events, our community still has things they want us to do, and so we certainly do those. We have a responsibility to them as well, but that doesn't mean that Elijah is still not our number one priority and still our focus.
I know I had asked this before, and we know that he was alive, and there's video of him or pictures of him from that auto body shop on that Friday. Have you been able to find anybody who has seen him other than Jesse Vang and his mother, who claim to have seen him before he was reported missing?
Yeah, I can't comment on that part of it, no.
And I know you're also still are you still going through first rounds of all the video clips and everything?
I don't know exactly where they're at with video analysis, but I know there's still video that they are analyzing, especially through drone footage. I'm not sure the other portion though.
Have you? I know you said searches. I mean, can you quantify how many times you've gone up with the drones and different those? I guess maybe specialty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have those numbers in front of me. I do know that there's been areas we've searched multiple times. For instance, East and West Twin Rivers have been searched multiple times. They were searched not that long ago. within the last month. Bruce's Legacy has been here several times, search and rescue group. I know they did some more sonar work on both rivers once again. So there's areas we're going over again, just because we're using different technologies, let's say in certain areas, just to make sure. And I don't think, I think that's the responsible thing to do, really.
Is all that you kind of mentioned, you guys are going to be the source of the information. I know there's like these 2 Facebook pages that seem to kind of,
Sure.
the Find Elijah Vue and Where is Elijah Vue, they seem to bicker kind of back and forth. How harmful is that to the investigation when...
Yeah, I mean, that can be very harmful, you know, depending on what's said, especially if rumors start to begin to spread. We have to spend time finding out where these rumors came from, is there legitimacy to them, and then we have to decide, is this something we address to squash a rumor that isn't true. But either way, it takes up a lot of our time away from that investigation to look into those things and to correct whatever's going on out there. So that's not helpful. And I guess we just want to remind everybody that, once again, the factual information will come from here, and everything else is just kind of speculation at this point from other sources.
Do you feel like you're closer today to figuring out exactly what happened than you were?
Yes. Yes.
So progress has been made.
I believe so.
And what's the contact between you guys and the family, I guess, and where does that stand? I know they're not really organizing these big community searches anymore or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't specifically make that contact, but the chief, our detective lieutenant, and DCI are all assigned, and they all speak with the family. I think the most recent conversation was regarding the events in Appleton that are happening, I believe, on Sunday, I believe it was. Somebody had asked me if that was a real event that was happening, and we're going to be posting something on our page to say, yes, this is a legitimate event. So they were just contacted today about that. So, I mean, there's been regular contact there, too.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that event, too, I guess.
Yeah.
Will you guys send representatives there on Sunday, or what's the...
I don't know that for sure yet. Yeah, I'll look at staffing and what we have available and what we can do, but I know it's a rather pretty short event. I think it's only like an hour, I believe, so. But I don't know a whole lot about it yet, but I'll find out, so.
And when you were here last, you said you just had a dream. Do you still have dreams about Elijah? And
yeah, I mean, I think that anybody involved in this case is definitely close to our heart, and it's always on our mind. I was asked earlier about how much we think about it. I think the question was geared more to does it make you guys depressed? Are you thinking about it a lot? I think we're so focused on that. That just like anything else, you have your eyes on the prize, so to speak, on the objective. And the objective here is to find out what happened to Elijah, get some closure. And I think that just keeps everybody focused on that. After that closure comes, I'm sure there'll be plenty of debriefs and there'll be a lot of decompressing about it. But right now, I think everybody's still very focused, even after 6 months. And part of that is we still have other services we need to provide to our community. So we're busy with a lot of things. Elijah, #1 priority, but we have other things we're working on as well. So I think that keeps everybody just going with it. So
yeah, just gonna keep going and figure out what what happened, where to go,
right
from there, that sort of thing. What do you have to say to the community who it has been 6 months and they're...
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the frustrations of the community. We certainly feel those same frustrations. You're human beings just like the people in our community. We have a different role, obviously, but unfortunately, a lot of these processes take time. Investigations and getting evidence collected and evidence analyzed, that all takes a lot more time than I think even many of us as officers even realize sometimes in a case this big. So it can be frustrating. I guess I would just ask people to continue to be supportive and be patient and know that we're certainly doing our best, and not just us, but we're working with so many other agencies, whether it's in the federal or state level, and to know that we're utilizing all those resources available to us. Speaking with experts in different fields, all those things we can do to make sure that everything is done correctly in this investigation.
Can you give me a number of how many, do you have like a detective or investigator working on this daily? DCI has someone working on it daily, or
yeah. I mean, it's basically every weekday, sometimes weekends, depending on the situation. But there's agents assigned through DCI that are here. There's our detectives that work on it as well as some county detectives. So, and that's just the physical team that may be directly involved in it. You're going to have people on the periphery, such as FBI and other agencies that might be processing evidence of some sort. So there's a lot of people involved that might not be physically in this building at all times. So.
Okay. And then I know it's been reported that this is the oldest active Amber Alert in.
I had not heard that.
Okay, it's been. How long does the Amber Alert last? Because when we heard this, the longest active.
Sure.
Amber Alert. You go on there and there's like 4. It's his case was the 20th, and then there's one from February 27th, and then 2 more recently. But then there's like a whole list of kids who have not been found.
Sure.
How long does it stay in active Amber Alert? What's
I can't
the
answer
process?
that.
You don't.
I can't answer that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm familiar with our case, and that's the best I can tell you with that. So we have not had this happen here before. Many communities have not had this happen, so it's I don't know. I can't answer that for
But you know what the process is? Like how long it would stay in active Amber Alert?
Yeah,
because you guys asked for that, correct?
Correct.
That
Yeah, and I've been part of those conversations. That's probably more of a DCI question, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reward is still out there as well, and everything.
Yep. Everything should be the same as it was before. Yeah.
Anything else you think is important that?
We addressed most of that in No, I think we pretty much covered most
things. You're
things.
closer today than you were initially, and do you think you're weeks away from a break? Do you? Someone knows something out there.
Yeah.
I guess what's it going to take to get that break that you need to figure out what happened to Elijah?
At this point, it's not so much a break. It's simply time for the investigation to go through its course. But I can't really speak to what those elements would be. So, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry. I wish I could share. I wish I could share more, but when I talk to our investigative team, the time is could it be next week? Could it be 6 months? Could it be a year? Who knows? It just kind of depends on certain things playing out and that. So I can't really give you more than that. So.
I see you're wearing your
I am.
Your Elijah bracelet.
I am. It's a little sweaty, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I have a lot of confidence in our investigative team. So, the big takeaway I have when we have experts that have met with them that feel that they're on the right track and doing things that they have to do. So, it's a good feeling on our part. It's as much as you can have a good feeling in the situation, it is a good feeling to know that we can get that closure eventually.